So what do you mean by a rainy season retreat?
It's a week when we suspend all our normal classes and activities that we usually do here at the Bristol Buddhist Centre, so that we can use our building for running a retreat. So it's been a retreat for order members and mitras to practice together more intensely in Bristol. And yeah, it's a full retreat with a full retreat programme, just as you'd have at a retreat centre if you went away, running from 7 in the morning till 9 o'clock in the evening. The only difference being that you need to go home to sleep because we don't have accommodation here. So it's possible to be at the Buddhist Centre all week long, engaging in a regular retreat programme with double meditation, more meditation, Dharma talks, free time, work periods, pujas, every day for a week. The difference to a regular retreat, apart from needing your own bed, not going away from your regular life, as you would to go on a regular retreat, is that people could also drop in to whatever extent they were able. So if some people did a full retreat and others came maybe in the morning before going to work and then came back in the evening after work. Some people came on the days when they weren't working, so they might have done very full days on 3 or 4 days of the week. People could do as much or as little as they wanted to. The precedent for this is in the rainy season of the Buddha's life, where the Buddha and his wandering disciples would settle in one place during the monsoon season and practice together there, meditate, talk about the Dharma together. And people living lay lives, household lives in that vicinity could drop in and join them as and when it suited them, so they could partake, hear the teachings and carry on with their regular lives. There's a body of full-time practitioners settled in one place and people dropping in and out and going back and applying what they heard in their lives, in their household lives.
And this year you invited Ratnavandana to lead. How did it go?
Yeah, I was really delighted that Ratnavandana could do this for us. This is the second rainy season retreat we've run here. Last year we had different people coming in to lead different days for us, which was really great. We had some fantastic teachings, but it was a little bit hodgepodge, a bit less held as a whole week's retreat. So I was keen to try and find somebody who could run a whole retreat for us, who would like to lead the whole thing. And I was absolutely delighted to talk to Ratnavandana about what she was interested in offering to us. Very inspiring, the way she lives her life in the Mandala of the Brahma Viharas, in the Mandala of the 5 Buddhas, trying to make her every action an offering to the Buddhas. And this just seems so right for us. It inspires me because metta has always been such an inspiration, so I was very happy to spend a week exploring the Brahma Viharas, those different expressions of metta. But also because it was around the 5 Buddhas, which in Bristol we have quite a tradition of practice with the 5 Buddhas. We've done a lot of practice over the years. You can see behind me we have paintings of the 5 pranyas by Kumada, and we have these 5 lovely tankas of the 5 Buddhas, which Kumada also painted in, I think, 2000 or 2001, when we had a whole year of practice themed around the Mandala. And we've revisited this in different ways at different times since then. For the last 3 years we've had around New Year a 24-hour mantra chanting, chanting the mantras of the jinas of the 5 Buddhas. So our Sangha is familiar with this image, and it's what we practice with. Our main image on our shrine is a Shakyamuni painted by Aloka, and the detail that's particular to our version, there are many of these similar images in Triratna centres, ours has the colours of the Buddhas surrounding the aura of Shakyamuni, just to remind us of that, the way the light of awakening is refracted into these different colours of the Buddhas, and our particular connection with that in Bristol. It also particularly fitted this year because we have a theme of building the Buddha land, and something about this bringing out the possibility of living in the Mandala, in the Sangha, in our lives, where people are going back into their household lives in Bristol, just really seemed to fit with that. So in lots of ways, the theme, Ratnavandana, what she wanted to offer, all came together to make this a really special theme to retreat for us this year. And it did go really, really well. We had a really, really good week. I think we created a very strong mandala. The shrine room was very, very beautiful, with a central shrine to the 5 Buddhas and Kumara's paintings hanging on the walls around us. So it felt as if the 5 Buddhas were central and around us, holding us in that room. And people engaged with the theme, engaged with their practice from the first night. So it felt as if we'd created a special space in which people could step in and out of as suited them. Several people did do pretty well the whole retreat, did engage very fully, and just took it as a week's retreat, took time off work if needs be, and were here. And others dropped in, as it suited them. But it was as if the whole thing had a coherence that the mandala was holding, was creating, and there were enough people doing a substantial amount of it to have a sense of us being a Sangha as a whole. And I think it was just very attractive for people to come into. People said that they felt sort of pulled to come and sit in the mandala again, perhaps more than they thought they would. And I think it did show me somehow what building a Buddha land really means. It gave me a real lived sense of how, with the various comings and goings, the various different individuals, different ways they practice, we could be together, practicing together and creating something very strong and beautiful, powerful together, this sort of hub of practice in the centre of the shrine room. Individuals were very affected too, from quite new mitras who perhaps haven't really got any other retreat experience, through to people with many, many years of experience. I think most of us experienced fresh revelations and understandings, different experiences of the Dharma during the week. So I'm very confident that this will have fruits for our Sangha ongoingly, this experience of practicing together as a Sangha in this way.
And you were sharing a lot of the retreat online this time. What was that like?
Yeah, I found that very inspiring too. It almost happened by accident. I had the idea I wanted to post at least the talks from the retreat as quickly as possible to make them available for people in Bristol who might miss odd days, perhaps if people were pretty much running the retreat as an urban retreat, participating, but missed parts of it. They'd be able to sort of catch up on what they missed. And I thought maybe I'd put it on our website and make it available in that way to the people who know it. And then I realised, of course, that this is what the Buddhist Centre Online is for, and that would be the perfect hosting spot for our material. And Chandradasa was so enthusiastic and helpful in getting things online that we ended up producing so much material all through the week. And I quickly realised that I was really inspired to be sharing more widely in this way. All along I'd had this sense we were creating a hub of practice that would have strong effects on the people participating, the people in their lives, and probably the area around. Somehow this would be beneficial to the world. But to have that so materially, so tangibly happening through knowing that there would be people listening in on our guided meditations, hearing the talks of the week, practicing wherever they were in the world, affected by what we were doing, was very, very inspiring. And I think, again, showed something to the people here in Bristol participating. I think, we all had a sense that what we do matters, that we do have an effect on the world. We can really spread our practice widely. And I think it gave people, I hope it gave people a sense of being part of wider Triratna, this international community that we're part of, through participating, because we are able to be part of Triratna in that way, well, that shows us that the bigger Triratna exists and that we have a part to play in it. So I think that really linked our Sangha in with the wider Sangha too, which I'm delighted by.